Welcome back to the beginning jewelry course here at Laguna Woods Jewelry Studio. And you recall in our last session, we cut out an organic shape to develop skills in using the jeweler's saw. Today, we're going to do a little bit more and introduce a little bit of magic. I think one of the successes in jewelry is that when you produce a piece, people look at it and just for a second they think, wow, how did they do that? And what we're going to do today is what's called pierce cutting, which is cutting from the inside of the piece without cutting through the outside. An example of pierce cutting is this little froggy that I cut. As you can see, it's been cut entirely by hand with a jeweler's saw. We're not going to do something this elaborate today, but I do want to demonstrate the general principle. And we are going to cut pierce cutting into the piece that we cut out of our copper. We're also going to, excuse me, use one of the tools in the jewelry studio, the drill press. And part of this process, I want to show you how to confidently and safely use the drill press. All right, what we're going to need today is our jeweler's saw, safety glasses, the piece that we cut out in the last session, and we're also going to need a drill bit, and a center punch. And then I'll show you how to do the jeweler's saw. So for right now, we're going to stay with the organic theme of our piece, and we're going to simply draw on our piece Okay, what we're going to do is just simply draw a random shape on our piece. I'm going to draw 3. You don't need to draw that many. Just 1 or 2 will do. So when we get done, we have these 3 shapes on our piece. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a center punch, and the center punch has a very dull end to it, but it's just sharp enough that it will make a dent in our piece, which will allow the drill bit to bite into when we put it on the drill press. If you don't put a center punch here, your drill bit won't dig into the metal. It'll scoogee across the top of the metal and not hold very well at all. So what we're going to do is, for each of the 3 holes that I've done or drawn out, I'm going to center punch it. And you don't need a lot of force to do this. This is why I'm using a very small hammer. Just a little, that's all you need. So just a little tap, and hey, don't miss the center punch. All right, when I do this so that if you can see, the center punch is right there. I put it at the edge of what I'm going to draw out because sometimes those pieces that I cut out can be used in other forms of jewelry. So anyways, now that I have my 3 holes, or my 3 dents put in with the center punch, we're going to take our drill bit and go over to the drill press and drill 3 holes where the center punch was made. I forgot to add just one little thing, which is when you're using the center punch on metal, you should always place your metal on steel. If you place it on, say, the wood here, and you use your center punch, there's a risk of punching all the way through your metal and wrecking your piece. So whenever you use a center punch, use a steel bench block. We have a number of these blocks all around the studio, so help yourself whenever you need one. This is the drill press. It's a very simple machine to operate, but it is one of the first pieces of equipment that you'll be using in the studio, and also one of the more frequently used. First of all, you'll see right here, this turns and it opens the teeth or closes the teeth for a bigger or smaller drill. This is the handle here, and you just rotate the handle and that will descend down. You can see I've placed my piece on a piece of wood because I always want to drill into wood when I'm using the drill press. There's a light switch here. There's a light switch here if you want to turn it on. I mostly don't need to use this, but we'll shine it here today so that we can see the drill press in operation. The most important part of the drill press is the on-off switch. It's here on the front, right on the front of the machine. And to turn on the drill press, all you do is pull the switch out and it's on. To turn it off, just hit switch down. If you have any trouble at all operating the drill press, just turn it off. We can solve all problems in drill press operation by simply turning the machine off. All right, what I'm going to do now is take my drill and insert it in the chuck. I'll sometimes have to move. You can do this by your fingers and just open up the chuck wide enough to get your drill bit in, and then tighten it down. To tighten it, you use this chuck key and you put it in and tighten all three teeth. Whoops. With that, you're ready to drill. And the first thing you want to do when you turn it on is make sure your drill is spinning straight. If it didn't get in there straight, it's going to be off center and it's going to spin around in a circle and it won't drill and you'll break the drill bit. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm going to come down and you can see that I'm only using 2 fingers. I don't need to go very far or fast to drill, and there's practically no force because the drill bit will do the work by itself. So you don't need to push down real hard or do anything like that. The drill bit will do the work. This takes very little physical strength. All right, I'm going to drill the 3 holes. And as you watch, you'll see little pieces of copper come out, and then as you back and forth it a bit, you'll see wood. When you see wood, you're through. I turn it off, align it up with my center punch ding, turn it on, and do the same thing in each of the holes. It takes very little effort. Okay, and there's our piece with the 3 holes in it. All right, now here's the magic. What we're going to do is we're going to take our saw blade and the piece with the 3 holes in it, and we're going to unloose the bottom of the saw blade. And we're going to take that saw blade and we're going to put it right through one of the 3 holes, like so. And now that it's there, we're going to put our saw blade back into the frame. Tighten it up. Now, the saw blade goes right through the hole that we've drilled into our piece. And so now all we have to do is cut the piece like we did before. And I'm going to cut one or two in real time so you see how long that it will take. And you cut the same way. And you just sort of follow the little black line that we made with the Sharpie. Again, this is practice. The more you use the saw, the more comfortable you get in using it, and also the more efficient you get. And remember, you just turn your piece so that your saw is staying within the circle of doom. Your fingers are protected by the wood. And with that, we've had a piece. We can release it from our saw blade, and there is the cutout piece. Sometimes when you drill your piece, there's a little burr on the back side where your drill bit came through the metal. Here's how to fix it. You just take a larger drill bit, put it into the little hole that you've drilled with your small drill, and just rotate it by hand, and the burr disappears. And you can do this for each of the holes. And with that, it's smooth on this side. All right, here are my cut out with the 3 scrap pieces. We can use those in later jewelry projects, but for right now, we're looking at our piece here. And if you take a look at the piece on edge, let's see if it will focus here, you'll see that the edges are rough because the saw blade has made a series of up and down scrapes on the edges, both on the outside of the piece and on the inside. What we're going to do in our next video is introduce you to the use of files and sandpaper to give your piece a finished look and to remove all of the scratches that have been introduced in the process so far. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Take care, and please drop by the jewelry studio to start work whenever you feel like it. Thanks a lot. Bye.